Also, guys, welcome back to the Football Appreciation YouTube channel. Now, Gareth Southgate announces his England squad tomorrow, or at least his cut down one, which will be 26 man. And I think we all know that one of the fullbacks is going to get dropped. And according to quite a lot of people, James Ollie's the most reliable one I found, but a lot of people are saying that Trent Alexander-Arnold's going to get dropped. And it's interesting to say the least. Obviously, there's like four main options, right? So we've got Trent, who looks like he's going to not go, Carl Walker, who's a dead set, Kieran Trippier, and then Reece James. I think Wan-Bissaka deserves a shout, but he's just not going to get one. And before I go into like the numbers and who I would pick, I think the reason Gareth Southgate's not picking Trent is because, first of all, he clearly has his favourites, right? I think that's pretty established. I think he loves Carl Walker. He trusts Carl Walker to play in a back five. I think England will probably play a back four. But if we do play a back five, let's just pretend Rice is a central defender. He's going to want wing backs, right? Kieran Trippier is clearly a wing back. It's what he's done at Atleti. He's never been a good defender. He was our best player at Euro 2018. I don't think Kieran Trippier deserves the stick he's getting, to be honest. I think he's a very good footballer, but ultimately very limited. But Kieran Trippier knows how to play wing back. Gareth Southgate trusts him. Plus, he can play left back. I think Kieran Trippier is a dead cert just because of that. In Gareth Southgate's mind, I'm not saying I agree with it, but I think he looks at it and goes, okay, we've got Shaw, we've got Chilwell, take caps off, we've got Ben Chilwell, and Bukayo Saka's going to get dropped, right? So we've only got 2 left backs and 3 right backs. So I think he wants a right back who can also play left back, which is why I think Kieran Trippier is in there, plus loyalty. So that means Trippier is one of them, right? Let's just put Trippier there for now. I don't agree with this logic, by the way. That's 100% why he's taking Kieran Trippier. Then Reece James for me is probably the most obvious one to go on. Obviously, he's just won the Champions League. He's an amazing player on the ball. He's a brilliant dribbler. His pass completion is really high. He gets on the ball. He's a decent presser. All his defensive numbers are really high for someone who plays as a wing back. Reece James is a dead cert. He is. For me, those are the two that Gareth Southgate is going to pick. Plus, Reece James can cover in midfield as well. He's played there for Wigan. But Reece James is a wing back. He plays that every single week. And I kind of feel like he will play a back four, but I think he wants to switch between the two, right? And he'll want 2 players that can play wing back. So Reece James, dead cert for me, along with Kieran Trippier. Then it kind of leaves you with Trent or Carl Walker. Now, when Gareth Southgate's going to look at this and think, okay, Maguire's injured. Connor Cody might have to play in there, or Declan Rice. I kind of want someone who can also tuck in there. Carl Walker's played centre-back. I don't think he's a very good centre-back, personally. I thought the last... the World Cup in 2018. I didn't think he was that good at centre back, to be honest. But I think he will. Let's just say this is Carl Walker for a second. I think he'll want him so he can play right centre back just in case. I think this is how Gareth Southgate looks. He's one of those managers that looks at the worst case scenario. Now Trent and Wan-Bissaka's just not going. Even though I think Wan-Bissaka does deserve to be in there, and I hope he doesn't switch to DR Congo because I think under a different manager they would take him. But Wan-Bissaka is clearly the 5th choice in Southgate's mind. But the thing with Trent is, the reason I don't think he's picking Trent, let's just put Trent Alexander-Arnold there for a sec. If it's a back four, Trent is by far the best right back in a back four we have. However, I think Gareth Southgate is not going to push Trent and Luke Shaw higher. He's just not. This is going to be a flat back four. And I don't think Trent's anywhere near as bad as a defender as people say he is, especially when you look at Andy Robertson's stats. People say Andy Robertson's a great defender, but Trent isn't. But if anything, Trent's got better defensive numbers, and his interceptions are high. The one thing he does have high is interceptions, which to me suggests he's quite an intelligent defender. Obviously, pressure is going to be quite low because he's not the first guy to press. It's always Liverpool's midfielders, and of course his tackles and that are going to be low because he's high up the pitch for Liverpool, right? But I think the reason he's not picking Trent, his defensive numbers aren't incredible. And if let's say he does play this back five, Trent's never played in the back five, or at least I can't remember Liverpool ever playing a back five. And I don't think this is fair, but I think that's probably why he's been cut. He can't play it in a back five, or at least Gareth Southgate doesn't think he can play in a back five. And in a back four, he trusts Carl Walker or Reece James more. Plus, Trent, in Southgate's mind, can only play in this back four. So let's say we're playing a back four. Trent's got that position. But I think Gareth Southgate looks at it and thinks, you know what? Carl Walker's not that much worse. Trippier's not that much worse. Reece James isn't that much worse. but Trent can't play this back five. Do you know what I mean? So I think he's looking at it and going, as a squad, Trent can play one position, right back in a back four. He can't play wing back, and he can't play centre back in a back five, like Kyle Walker can. And I genuinely think this is Gareth Southgate's logic, because there's no way Gareth Southgate looks at Trent Alexander-Arnold's numbers and thinks, "Oh, this guy's rubbish." There's no way Gareth Southgate's that brain dead. He has to be looking at this as a 26-man squad. But this is the issue as well. With a 26-man squad, you'd think you could just take Trent, but I feel sorry for Trent. I hope this doesn't knock his confidence, because for me, he's been Liverpool's best player in the second half of the season. And yes, his defensive numbers aren't good. I get it. But if he was playing in a deeper back four, his numbers would go up. It's just how it works. But I think he looks at it and thinks Trent's good in a back four high up. But he doesn't want to do that. He wants to play a back four with the fullback really low, or he wants to play a back five. And Trent's never done that. So I think that's why he's not playing Trent. I think it's a disgrace. He'd be the first name I'd have. Him and Reece James would be my dead cert. And then it'd be between Walker and Kieran Trippier. Personally, I think obviously Kyle Walker's an amazing defender. Look, this is a good choice to have, right? Like, there's no shame in Kieran Trippier getting in the England team. He's a good footballer. But I just think Gareth Southgate looks at it and goes, if something goes wrong and I need to play a back five, Trent, he doesn't trust Trent. And he doesn't think he has the versatility that Kieran Trippier and Kyle Walker do, and he's not better than Reece James this season, especially in a back five. But let me know what you think. Let me know who you'd pick for right back for England. Personally, if you're asking what I'd pick, I would pick Trent, Reece James, and Wan-Bissaka. That'd be personally mine. I don't dislike Kyle Walker, but he's 31 now. I don't see the point in blooding him. I'd rather blood Wan-Bissaka. That's just my preference. Let me know what you think. Subscribe to the channel. There are loads of videos coming out of the Euros, and there's already loads of Premier League ones and transfer stuff. So subscribe. Let me know what you think. Would you take Trent? And yeah, peace.